If you have any questions, please shoot it to the panel members here. The first question there. Just wait for the microphone.
See, after she completed her presentation, when she went back, you actually mentioned her that why don't you share the same thing with all other states? Why are you doing it now? Why is it not a forum? Why is it not a some kind of portal? Why don't we meet every week or every month the secretary level people? Why don't we do it, share it physically? Me being a student in IIT KGP, I know that giving a source code to somebody will not work. If I have developed something, my source code, I'll just give it in my CD or in a tape right now, it will not work. But it's completely successful in my place, I'm doing it for fine. But for him, it's completely from the scratch. Now, why is it not happening at that level? Why are we not meeting it every month or a quarterly to share all this information? What is the hindrance? I do not understand that.
The right person to answer your query would have been someone from DIT. Anyway, I'll answer your question with my limited ability. There is always a resistance to adopt someone else's product. You must have seen Surf Excel's ad. मेरी साड़ी उससे सफेद, उसकी साड़ी मेरी साड़ी से सफेद कैसे? Now that syndrome works a lot here also, and that has been one of the reasons for lots of duplication of effort and all. What I have said today, I have been trying to have this kind of thing for quite some time, and you are absolutely right that whatever works in state A may not work in state B, but that's not 100% correct. In fact, with little customization, and when I said source code, it's not just source code. There are many other things, and I know I have been in this field for a decade and a half, implementing, getting things from others, customizing, and now customization and configuring projects. In fact, I wanted to share a few thoughts on that. What happens? We get a product developed as per our own requirement, where we make it so rigid that the moment it goes to someone else with similar environment, but if the processes are different, then lots of customization is required. The need of the hour is all people here who are responsible for development of software, they should go for more generic, where you configure the software as per your requirement, so that the same thing can be made applicable somewhere else. So there are lots of issues involved in that, and meeting every week or every month from all 28 states and 7 union territories is not possible. So there are, in fact, some efforts were made, and I see Shashank Koja behind. There was also a proposal to have a portal of all successful as well as failed projects at one place. In fact, a year back in this particular seminar only, I had given a detailed presentation on what efforts we had made in Delhi government of putting in that. But we need someone centrally, because one state will not listen to other states. Someone from the central government has to drive that, and it's a long drawn task. It's a very good suggestion, and I'll request the organizers to pass it on to Mr. Chandrasekhar and his team. Next question, please.
Prakash.
Software which can be used by others, and disincentive for those who don't write that. If that is the way, let's say, that is built up, those incentives could be public, maybe a public forum would give that incentive or
Thank you very much, sir. Yes,
Prakash, 2 years ago you had, I remember this conversation at, I think at this event was called Conflicts at that time.
Yes.
So I raised this point yesterday, and Mr. Chandrasekhar said that this suggestion makes sense. And I think it's an excellent initiative, because as a taxpayer, what I see is that everybody is reinventing the same application again and again. So I would like to say that this is something that is a very good initiative. I think the issue that the software source code is not good enough, the services need to be built around that. There are some examples. For example, the eGov Foundation, they are giving the source code away free and they charge for the services. So I think that kind of partnership needs to be built up. But I think this kind of a thing it could end up saving the country thousands of crores. So it's a very, very good first step. But I think we should continue on that path.
What you have said, that is the right model which eGov Foundation has shown to us. One successful project in state A for a particular activity. Now some third party takes it over, takes the responsibility of replicating, then the cost of development and time of development gets reduced. At the same time, they bring in the knowledge of implementation and they do it for you. The way it has been done, in fact, Delhi's Municipal Corporation of Delhi, they have taken the whole thing from eGov Foundation. And they are not the only one. There are a large number of municipalities in our country who have taken help of eGov Foundation, where the initial cost is not there. But then cost of implementation, configuring it, training it, rolling it out, all that will be there. But then you save not only money, but also lots of time. So it's a very good suggestion, and I think that should be one of the recommendations from the organizers here for the ministries concerned to adopt. Any further questions? Yes, sir.
On this sharing of source code, I have got one example. Like Lokvani in Uttar Pradesh become quite successful, and actually once the software is developed by NIC, at least we have following some kind of open source policy. At least we are sharing code and the expertise in terms of SRS. The Lokvani now replicated in Andhra Pradesh, as you've been calling as a Prajavani. I'm saying just give some name to me, like some kind of, okay, it's developed from Lokvani. Recently I have shared the source code to Karnataka. Now they are trying to implement many districts of Karnataka in Lokvani being implemented. And a similar case actually is 3 years back I have developed rural development, rural soft monitoring, rural development scheme monitoring, and running in 13 states. And through our some kind of national coordinator at Delhi. So we are sharing to national coordinator and being passed on the state. Now this thing actually reinventing the application development now is slowly going down now, because the kind of pressure we are getting and delivery mechanism, people are demanding very short now, because e-governance now things are getting delayed. Anything we start today means you need tomorrow some kind of solution. Now we can't go for like SRS, study everything. So we are now doing it. I mean now things have started. Yes, there are some kind of hitches. Everybody, just like our chairman is saying, like, I mean, they want the original. Model. Like yesterday, actually, 2 days back, there was a demo of Karnataka model of VAT in UP. Now the Trade Tax Commission say, like, no, I want my own model. I don't want to say Karnataka model. So this problem will remain. Some mindset change. But we are saying, okay, fine, we'll say, okay, not the Karnataka model. NIC model, acceptable. Karnataka model, not acceptable. Fine. So we say NIC model. Now it's working. I think it's not very panicky situation now. Things are working. That's what I want to say.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, I'm from Bangladesh. So there are very good reasons to share these things between the states and India. But as far as I see, in Bangladesh, we have got a very, one organization called Bangladesh Railway, with whom we are working. They have got about 60,000 employees. So for them, this could be a wonderful project. How can we really share these things, or rather can have some insight? Can you show some light how we can really get it with the cooperation of e-governance foundation here?
In fact, our Department of Information Technology is working on this kind of thing, where sharing of some good projects of ours which have been very successful not in one state but many with other states. And then here it becomes slightly sensitive because it's between two countries.
Yes.
The modality is like I'm working in a ministry where it basically deals with atmospheric sciences and weather and all. So recently we have started the dialogue with your National Weather Agency of Bangladesh, and we have to go through our respective Ministry of External Affairs, because that's the protocol. So if a request comes from there, I'm certain it will be provided, and there is a set protocol for that. There will be a little more time because we have to go through our respective Ministries of External Affairs. That's the only hitch. Otherwise, there is no problem on that front.
But for the time being, can we share those presentation? What is there?
I don't see any problem. Yes, it can be done.
Presentation can be done.
You can always get in touch. You can take my email, and
Okay.
definitely as far as the presentation or the idea is concerned, we'd love to share it with
Okay, thank
anybody.
you.
I would like to add that with this cooperation, our e-courts division official had already visited Bangladesh to implement the courts computerization system in the Supreme Court of the Bangladesh. That study and implementation is already underway. So some type of cooperation is taking place.
In fact, for our friends from other countries, NIC is also having a collaboration or kind of